Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is a show about me. Hey, never mind all that bullcrap. Let me skip right to the main meat of the subject. As you can see behind me, I have some sentimental objects in the truck. Some of these things I just purchased recently, and the others I painstakingly made a effort to um, keep my imagination active. So I had to start doing some things and had some had some arts and crafts ideas that I had to manifest last year. Um, that one right behind me to the right is the movie cover Joshua. Joshua, and that was a black exploitation film starring Fred Williams. Uh, but it put a good light on black men as being strong, courageous, self-determining, sacrificing, and good virtues. He in that movie, we got to see a black man not just be a pimp or a slave, but there were actually black cowboys, and the term cowboys was coined because of the Negroes that were helping with the ranchers rustling the cattle. They call them boys, so they named them cowboys, and then it stuck. And as we can tell now, that term has been hijacked, and it's formally now understood that cowboy culture is a predominantly white culture, which is not the case and has never been the case. A matter of fact, one of my next door neighbors is a black cowboy. Shout out to you, Tori. Keep doing your thing, man. I really like how you carry yourself, and man, I think you're gonna be an awesome rider, man. Just keep going with it, man. Um, this one picture of the flowers behind me is a I love flowers. I love the idea of life in all forms, plant life, animal life, organic, anything organic that can help me get back in touch with Mother Nature and and connect me to the big picture. I love it. Um, it's just a portrait of some flowers that I thought were pretty neat when I started drawing them. I didn't know exactly what I was gonna do, but it came out pretty well. I drew that probably 2024, so the colors washed out a little bit more on that one, more so than anything. But on the vase is a shout out to my sister Marianne. She graduated SFA in 2022. Yeah, 2022. Graduate of SFA. Bachelor's degree. Shout out to you, sis. And on my left side right here, I got my man, the one and only, Mr. Jackie Robinson. Jackie, 42. That's the number by his face. That picture doesn't look anything like Jackie Robinson, but I liked it because that was his smile, but everything else on that picture that doesn't represent him in a good way. But I like Jackie Robinson because he's an Aquarius. Definitely a kind of independent person. Was really not known for anything besides baseball, but he had an intense love for humanity. He was involved in a lot of civil rights activities, getting fair housing for black people, and helping to establish black banks, and helping to get the I think it was I don't know, maybe it was LBJ. He helped the administration. He was trying to work with the administration to allow for better housing for blacks and people of color. Uh, also, I don't know. There's something else I'm missing about Jackie. Oh, it's number 42. That's how old I was in 2025. I was 42. I like that number. That number stood out to me, and that's why I drew Jackie. Beneath those are some of the books I'm now currently engaged in, and learning how to formulate attention, like Dr. West said. First thing you have to do when you are in a period of turmoil is to make a conscious effort to not just cower from confrontation, but to arm yourself with knowledge. And knowledge is the key to greater understanding, greater awareness of the reality, and also it inspires you to keep on persevering in spite of the odds, even though there might be mountains that you cannot move at this present moment with your current strength. That does not mean that those mountains will always stand in your way as an obstacle. Most obstacles are given to us as a opportunity for us to grow, and growth is not a welcome experience. But in order for the caterpillar to grow up, he must be transformed and transfer. He must be first transformed from a creature solely whose sole primary interest is feeding and getting his needs met, to becoming a butterfly, which means is symbolic of the transformation process that the caterpillar, which is seen as something ugly and distasteful and as a pestilence, the butterfly represents beauty, wisdom, discernment, the ability to take a larger view of the problems and not just look so directly at the immediate knee-jerk reactions. Also, the butterfly represents manhood. In this book behind me, I'm reading New Narrative for Black Men by Naima Akbar. Naima Akbar. That book talks about a lot about the transformation from being a male genetically to being a boy to being a man, to manhood. He talks about the transformation process that we as black men have not always been able to make due to the systematic system of white supremacy, Jim Crow, slavery, families being destroyed, prison industrial complex, the war on drugs, all the different schemes and mechanisms that America has used to really tear down and arrest the development of generations of black men. I was talking to my dad about this earlier. We don't see eye to eye on this. He doesn't really care too much about the psychological side of the need for boys to have a community of adult men in their life. But I see where there and Naim Akbar also says that there's traditions that in every culture the community of men take the young males, infants, toddlers, they give them to their mothers to nurture them when they're first born. But after a certain time, the kids, the boys are taken away from their mothers and taught responsibility, taught how to handle pressure gradually, and are rewarded in a fashion that is they're rewarded according to their duties. And so the older that the boy becomes, as he goes into teenage years, he then becomes sexually active. And then around that age, in other cultures, men get married at very early ages. But here in America, there has been a breakdown in the family structure, especially in the African American community, because there is a lack of transgenerational cooperation, which means unless there has been a community of strong, dedicated, committed men in boys' lives, what will tend to happen is you'll have grown adults who will still be mentally trying to find, gain attention and gain approval outside of themselves, and they won't be able to be self-determining and self-directing. They will look for others' approvals, and they'll also be very insecure. Even in adulthood, there are men, including myself, who have not had the process of being taken from a boy to a man. So this book right behind me is very good. New Vision for Black Men. This one right here, The Falsification of African Consciousness, Eurocentric History, Psychiatry, and Politics of White Supremacy by Dr. Amos N. Williams. Great book. Talks about how, it talks about so much stuff, but just to give it a short rundown, Dr. Amos Wilson was a psychologist. He was in the mainstream psychology field, going into the prisons, offering sessions and diagnosing certain people. But then he came to the conclusion that with all the research that the psychiatry and the help services have gathered, why is it that there has never really been a real solution? And he came to the conclusion that that the system of white supremacy is full of contradictions, and ultimately it leads to a maladaptive state where black people literally have to be out of their minds in order to it serves a purpose in the overall system, that black people, we have to be out of our minds. We have to be conditioned to think doing the wrong thing is right and doing the right thing is dumb. And we have to be conditioned over time, that we've been conditioned just to be self-destructive and self-hating. It has to do a lot about, it's on the same theme as this New Vision for Black Men. It has to do with miseducation through public education, the public school system, religion, all the tools that have been used to dominate and instill inferiority complexes in most of the people of color in the world. And Dr. Amos's book doesn't just deal with black men in America, but it deals with people of color worldwide, because the system of white supremacy, which leads me to this book over here, Dr. Neely Fuller, is the main religion and political system of this world. And Dr. Fuller, Neely Fuller Jr., in this book, The United Independent Compensatory Code and a system of fighting and a system of counter reaction against racism. He explains that the system of white supremacy, that is the best way to explain how this world is the way it is. It's just it's not meant as it's just what it is. If we don't see that the system is set up for white men to be dominant over the minority of white people, to be dominant over the vast majority of colored and non-white people, non-European people of the world, then we have been deceived. But it's not a book to be it's more of a code. That's what this book is. This book right here is a code on how to counter-react against racist and the system of white supremacy. Dr. Neely Fuller says, there are 9 areas that we are all, at some point or another throughout every day, we are all engaged in. He lists the 9 specific areas as economics, entertainment, education, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. At some point and throughout every day, every person has to deal with at least one of those subjects, whether it's economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. War was the 9th one. And I just got introduced to Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. through I guess Dr. Amos Wilson, because he's not really African centered education, but he is trying to help people understand that some of the things, why do they happen the way they happen? Why is it that most black men, we have problems with other black people, and Mr. Fuller says it's because we were conditioned to hate each other. We were conditioned not to have natural affection for each other. We were only supposed to have affection for our masters, and we were not even allowed to have the title of men, women, or anything. This whole system was designed for us never to rightfully be equal. And even though we have a constitution in America that says all men are created equal, it's 2026, and we see that America is doing the same thing, running the same games under a different name. It's not like things have changed. Well, they say it's changed, but things, how much have they really changed since the instatement of the Constitution? But anyway, yeah, man, these are 3 very influential books that I would advise any person, if you're at any age, if you're trying to find some source of understanding. These are conscious books. So consciousness just means being aware. It doesn't necessarily mean reacting or responding hateful when you are hated, or striking back in retaliation. But it does mean knowing the system, knowing why that middle America, which is basically working people, the majority of people in America, are constantly fearful of a black middle class. If we have an equal society, wouldn't it be encouraged for all people of all colors, no matter their ethnic race? Shouldn't they be able to improve their status in life? But that's a contradiction. That's a contradiction, because although there are opportunities in the land, more than not, the opportunities that they tell us about are only half truths. They're not really the whole truth, and you have to do a whole lot, and you have to kind of sell out a little bit to be in the system. I'm not saying most people who have succeeded in America are sellouts, but I don't know. I don't know most people. All I know is myself, and I know that I faced discrimination and racism and like microaggressions when I deal with certain people. It seems like they have a vendetta against me, and I don't even know them. And so I had to figure out some real answers, because it was just made me feel insane a little bit, that this culture that we live in, the climate that we are currently in, it seems very polarized. Like there is no there it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of common ground anymore. There doesn't seem to be any. It's it's a very toxic environment everywhere you look. It's always some, and it's because they're designing it that way so that people will give up, and people will just withdraw and just become isolated hermits and just say screw it, it's not worth it. I'm just live over here and then everybody else do you. But Dr. Amos Wilson says that right there, that type of mentality, it's escapism. You can try to avoid the world all you want, but it only works for so long. Eventually, even if it's just watching TV, the programming will get to you. So yeah, man, I hope this wasn't that confusing. I'm gonna go back and check it out, and then I'll probably edit it and put it back together. But y'all take care of this show about me, Senior Love Daddy, Billy Ray Valentine, Capricorn.